How's it going, everybody? RazingHel here, and today we're going to be taking a look at another quality of life improvement mod for Civilization 6 called More Lenses, and it adds more lenses to the game, as you might imagine. I'm right here in the mods screen right now because this is how you enable it once you have downloaded it, and the link for downloading it will be in the description, so check that out if you're interested in using this mod yourself. But anyway, once you have downloaded it, extracted, and placed the More Lenses folder into your mods folder, you can simply go here into the mods in Civilization 6 and enable it. And once you've done that, now we can go back and we can either load a game that already has the mod enabled. For example, this game right here is a game I started with the More Lenses mod enabled, or we can actually create a new game that will include the More Lenses mod in its save file. Since I already have, as I pointed out, started a game with the More Lenses mod enabled, we're going to go ahead and load that, and that's how I'm going to demonstrate how this mod works. Okay, so here we are on the map that I previously had started, and as you can see right now, you might notice some interesting colors on the map. That's because I have a builder selected here. But if we go to the lenses, we can take a look at each individual new lens that is added. Right here is the builder lens, and it highlights unimproved resources that the worker can improve. As you probably noticed here, though, it also automatically selects when you click on the worker. So in my case, this is my terrain, my land. The red stuff shows where I can't build any improvements. Right here we have a wine luxury resource. You can see it's ready to be improved. If we look over here, though, at other luxury resources that have been improved, they're red as well to indicate that you don't need to actually go over there with your worker. So what this does is it really makes it a lot easier to see at a glance which areas are in most need of improvements. For example, right here I could see these fish bonus resources don't have any improvement built on them, any fishing boats. Most of my other resources do have improvements built on them, but this makes it much faster just to see all this stuff at a glance. And I can see right now, well, the most obvious place to build my next improvement is on top of this luxury resource, so I have access to it. Now, most of the lenses are actually static, and you're going to have to go here to the lenses panel to actually select them to use them. So the next one is the Archaeologists Lens. This is probably one of the most specialized ones. You're only going to be able to use it if you have an archaeologist. Then we can do city overlap of 6 or city overlap of 9. So this is what city overlap of 6 looks like. What this does, if you take a look at the key up above, is it shows how many cities overlap within this area. For example, cities or red tiles mean that you have no city overlaps. In other words, there would be no point in building any improvements over here because no cities have access to it. But then we go all the way up to dark purple or dark pink that has 8+ cities that are going to be within that range. In my case, I don't have that many. I think I have 4 is the maximum. As you can see, that area is right here. So if I wanted to build any wonders or other improvements that make use of overlap bonuses among multiple cities, this is a very easy way to figure out where that sweet spot might be without actually having to count out each and every single space from those cities. So I really like that. The 9 overlap is pretty much the same, except you essentially have a bigger area to work with. Next, we have the Barbarian Lens. Now, this only shows barbarian encampments, as you can see by the key right up here on the upper left. Right now, there's only one on the map right here, but it makes it a lot easier to just find them, to pick them out on the map versus not having it at all. I mean, take a look at that versus this. Easy to spot, isn't it? The next one is the Resources Lens. So let's highlight that. And according to the key here, you can see we have luxury resources, unconnected luxury, bonus resources, unconnected bonus, and strategic resources and their unconnected strategic resources. So you can see here, right here is a luxury resource. It's silver. It shows up as a purple kind of icon. It shows up as a dark purple, though, versus these other ones in my territory that show up as a light purple. And that's because it is not improved. Take a look at the wine right here in my land, for example. It also shows up as a dark purple versus the light purple because it needs an improvement built on it. So once again, this helps you filter out the areas of your land that you should prioritize building on. Obviously, the builder applies a similar lens, but this one really narrows it down and only shows the resources that are available on the map. Green resources are bonus resources, red resources are strategic resources, and luxury resources are purple. And really, I wish this would have been included from the beginning of the game because in my opinion, Firaxis has not done enough to differentiate at a glance the differences between strategic and bonus resources, especially. Like, I am used to the filters that are available in Civilization 4, and Civilization 6 has not really lived up to that degree of flexibility in terms of how you can filter your various resources. Next, we have a Wonders Lens. This one filters between natural wonders and player-made wonders. On this map, currently, there are only natural wonders. There haven't been any AIs that are within my line of sight that have built player wonders, but as you can see right over here, it's easy to distinguish these areas now. Like, normally you might just mouse over this area right here because you think it looks a little bit like jungle. It doesn't look all that special, but that really gives you a better idea of where those natural wonders are and helps you to quickly plan around how to make best use of them or how to best utilize them. Next, we have the adjacency yield. Now, this is associated with adjacency bonuses for districts. Essentially, the darker the color, the better it is. Well, except for red. Red is the worst color. So in other words, if it's a red district, I'm not getting any adjacency bonus from these districts right here. For example, the neighborhood and my campus are not getting adjacency bonuses. But then we look at things, for example, like my Hansa right here. It's getting a yield of 4, so it's a pretty decent bonus right there. My shrine is also getting a pretty decent bonus. I think it's a yield of 4 as well. So it basically shows you which districts are performing the best. Now, it should be noted that this was not my setup. You might notice that what is going on here on the map is less than ideal, and that's because I had the AI autoplay for about 200 turns to get me to this point so I could better demonstrate the lenses for you, because obviously I can't load up a previous game save, and I'm not going to bother playing through like 2 hours of the game just to set up this so I can showcase this little mod here. So I hope you understand that this is not exactly how I would lay out my cities. So there's a lot of lost opportunity here. And lastly, we have the Scout Lens. Now, this, much like the Worker Lens, will activate automatically when you have a Scout selected. If you don't like this, don't worry. Both the Builder and the Scout can be tweaked in the mod files, and you can disable the ability for it to activate as soon as you select the unit. Like this. In other words, you would not see this lens come up if you didn't want to. But otherwise, when it comes to the Scout, like I said before, it shows goodie huts on the map. Obviously, this is not something that I can really make use of right now because I think all of the goodie huts around here have already been claimed, but that might help you to pinpoint them. I know a lot of the times the villages, the tribal villages, the goodie huts, whatever you want to call them, they just don't really stand out apart from the rest of the terrain a lot of the times. It's easy to overlook them, especially if you've gone past one and then we're going to come back to it later, but maybe you forgot. It's just a good reminder, I think. Not the most useful one, but it's still a good improvement. So anyway, that was the More Lenses mod for Civilization 6. It is compatible with a lot of other mods. If you are worried about it being compatible with the mods that you're playing with, you can check out a list of compatibility here right on the mod page itself. So go ahead and do that. This is definitely one I would consider one of the best quality of life improvements in terms of mods for the game. It does not change any of the base values of the game. It's pretty much vanilla gameplay all the way through. It just increases the scalability and accessibility of the user interface, which is sorely lacking. I think most people will agree in Civilization 6 compared to previous games, especially like Civilization 4 and Civilization 5. But anyway, I hope you found that useful. If you have been using this mod yourself, please let me know in the comment section below what you think of it so far. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.